Kurdistan Referendum, legal act or unlawful move. On September 27, 2017, a referendum was held throughout Kurdistan region of Iraq, in which 92.7% of population voted yes for independence of Kurdistan from Iraq. However, this referendum quickly rejected by Baghdad and by several countries, especially regional countries and by United Nations, in which described it as illegal and in violation of Iraqi constitution. However, this referendum considered legal under international law, especially United Nations Charter, in which Article 1 and Article 55 affirm that every nation has a right to self-determination. This means that every nation is free to decide whether remain in the state where they live or join to another one or establish their own state. The UN has confirmed the right to self-determination in a lot of their resolutions. For example, 15, 14 and 26, 27. As well known, the right to self-determination can be exercised in two ways. First, peacefully through a referendum. Second, non-peacefully through armed struggle and resistance. The Kurdistan regional government adopted peaceful approach by holding a referendum in which strengthened its legal and political legitimacy. Some question the position of United Nations and its Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who described this referendum as illegal. I think that this will not change anything, because the United Nations was accused a lot of time for using double standard in solving international issues. For example, United Nations supervised South Sudan referendum, which led to creation an independent state, but opposed Kurdistan referendum. However, the UN's description does not change the fact that Kurdistan referendum is legal. This doesn't mean the end of question, because a lot of time internal constitution conflict with international law, because internal constitution emphasize on the unity of the land of country. Some of them explicitly prohibit this right. For example, Constitution of United States, which prevent any state from seceding. But some of constitution stay silent. For example, Iraqi constitution, which doesn't explicitly grant or prohibit this right. Just in their introduction and in their first article, emphasized on the unity of the Iraqi land, but stipulated that the implementing of this constitution is a grantor of the unity of the Iraqi land. According to Dr. Ranjbar Jamil Sheikh, in his PhD thesis, if Iraqi central government fails to implement the constitution, then the Kurdistan region has the right to exercise self-determination. Indeed, the Iraqi central government has not implemented many constitutional provisions. For example, Article 140, supposed to be implemented by 2007, but has not been executed until now. And Iraq is a federal state, according to Article 1 of its constitutional. And in federal state, the legislative authority typically consists of two chambers, and any project of law must be passed by both chambers to become law. And the Iraqi constitution in Article 48 stipulated that the Iraqi legislative authority consisted on two chambers. First, it's called House of Representatives, and second one is called House of Federation. And the number of Kurdish members in the House of Representatives does not exceed 70 out of total 329 members, meaning that the central government can pass any law, whether by simple majority or absolute majority, whether the Kurdish support it or oppose it. However, the House of Federation has not yet been established. Based on above, the Kurdistan referendum was legal and consistent with international law and United Nations Charter and relevant UN resolutions.